Hello, reacting video. Today we're gonna take a look at the Swellow here in the Open Great League. Swellow is a very cool Pokemon, a very cool flying type Pokemon, and a very unique flying type Pokemon. Why is it so unique? I think it is the only Pokemon that has access to the moves Sky Attack, Brave Bird, and Wing Attack at the same time, which is something that you might not really expect because there are a lot of Pokemon that have a combination of at least 2 of them. But there's nothing other than Swellow that has a combination of 3 of them. So those are basically the best flying type moves in the game currently. So this Pokemon is kind of unique by having so many good moves here. We're going to have a very fun team around it with Swampert, with a Quagsire. It's been a while since I played those games, so I don't even know what's going to happen here either. I think it went pretty well with this team though. Not the best, but we're going to talk a little bit about Swellow as well here, as we're going to be able to go ahead and knock out the opponent's Armor here. Our backline, I really enjoyed the backline. I really enjoyed Quagsire as far as I remember. Quagsire is amazing in the current meta. Can highly recommend to use, super underrated because this Pokemon is of course a little bit worse maybe than Swampert in some scenarios, but just the Stone Edge coverage helps this Pokemon out so much in so many scenarios, forcing shields. It was wild. What is also wild is my opponent here running a Bonsly, which is honestly kind of scary as our lead really struggles with this Pokemon here. But we're going to encounter now the Sableye against us. We can go straight for the Earthquake here. Going to force a shield and going to be able to get the shield there as well, as they're going to go ahead and go for another charge move here. Very good counting. I don't shield this up, hopefully. I do shield this up for whatever reason. Literally doesn't make any sense at all. I will be able to go for the Earthquake, which they... Okay, at least shield this one up as well. And I swap out for whatever reason again. Honestly, I have literally zero clue what I'm currently trying to do here in this game, but we will be able to go for one Brave Bird here. Maybe I was drunk. Okay, I actually, like, the last time I was drunk, I think it was 4 years ago or something, so I wasn't drunk. But I most likely was a little bit tired or something, because this gameplay is not seemingly too good there. I'm going to let this move go through. Hopefully it's just a Rock Slide. It is just a Rock Slide, not an Earthquake there. As we're going to encounter a Grimer here. Grimer is something that I really would like to see, as we're going to be able to go for one Earthquake here, forcing the knockout, and also going to be able to go for one more fast move. And because we found up to 100 energy, we will be able to reach the Hydro Cannon and actually going to be able to sweep endgame with our Shadow Swampert. That's really cool about this team in general. You get out the answer for Shadow Swampert with the Quagsire. If it's like a flying type like the Altaria, you're still going to be able to hit them with super effective damage with a Stone Edge, which is amazing. And then you still have the Swampert in the back, which is really good at sweeping endgame. So, like, I really enjoyed this team, really nice team in general. As we encounter here a Medicham in the lead. There is, like, one of the issues with this Pokemon, but this is amazing. We're going to get out the Lantern here, perfectly aligned against our own Quagsire there. This is literally perfect. We can go for the Earthquake. I don't know if it knocks them even out here, but we will find out shortly, I guess. They're going to shield this move up. I'm totally fine with that. Thanks for that one. But we're going to see P-type, I think, on the last one. So we have actually a very nice time there. Okay, we actually can go for one over and we're still going to be able to knock them out here. We have now a shield advantage, we have switch advantage. We're going to be able to go for even maybe another charge move here. So it's looking really good, as we can even snipe the opponent here with one charge move of Swellow. This should be game over already. We have 3 Pokemon left. Yeah, there's nothing they can do here anymore, especially as Swellow can still get to another charge move. But yeah, Swellow, very cool Pokemon, very good Pokemon in general to force shields and do a lot of damage, even in like neutral scenarios. But the thing with this Pokemon, of course, is it's very squishy. It has like not a lot of bulk, so it's not going to last that long. And of course, in Great League especially, bulk is always the thing that is like favorable in general there, because yeah, like you really want to have the extra bulk to survive those charge moves. Noctowl is just better because of that. Like Noctowl is just so much more bulk, I think like 1/4 more of bulk, which is kind of wild. And so, like, yeah, it's a fun Pokemon. It's not going to be the craziest meta Pokemon, but honestly, look what Quagsire does in the current meta. Like, this thing is just completely insane. Sure, rather made this video about Quagsire, but actually Swellow was something that I asked on the community tab what you want to see, and Swellow was like one of those Pokemon there. So here we're going to encounter now the Pelipper, which is going to be an awkward one. We will be able to survive one move, but they're mostly going to go for the Weather Ball bait here anyway. As we can go ahead and go for the Sky Attack, maybe force this shield. Let's take a look at this. We're going to actually nearly knock them out now. And we're going to encounter the LilyNiRiain Stunfisk. I kind of just want to go for the Brave Bird just for the fun, as we're going to be able to do some nice damage with that here. Going to force basically them to throw, which is amazing. And now we have our Swampert. And I'm pretty sure there's literally no way that they can win this game here. I don't think there's a way. They go for the Earthquake anyway, so I guess there's no way now. But I don't think there was a way anyway. So like I think we were kind of fine here. We can go for the Hydro Cannon. They, for their reason, shield, because we can go for another one here. And we will be able to knock them all the way out here. Very good game there to my opponent as we encounter another Sableye in the lead. This is of course an amazing matchup for us, as we're going to be able to resist the fast move. We can go ahead, go for the Sky Attack immediately. We're going to always win CMP against them, and we will be able to win this scenario in some t-shirt scenario. But they're actually going to swap out into our Quagsire. Kind of want to keep my Swellow healthy, because just in case they have something in the back we're weak against. As we're going to encounter an Azumarill here. Azumarill is something I don't really want to face with this team in general, but I think I'm going to be okay here. We see the Quagsire actually going to let this move go through. It's going to be the Ice Beam. Does knock me out, forcing me into my Swellow. Swellow going to be able to shield up the incoming Ice Beam here as well. So you're going to be able to farm up extra energy here now, up to 2 Sky Attacks. We will be able to go for this one now, and we should be able to farm them all the way down now. And now we have a shield disadvantage, but we're going to be able to go ahead and go for some Sky Attacks. Sky Attacks against the Ninetales of the opponent will force a shield or like the damage, but we're going to actually be able to hit this Brave Bird here. Let's see how much damage it's going to do. It's nearly knocking them out. One more fast move of our Swampert will finish that deal. Goodbye their opponent. This should be a short definitely, but holy hell, like that Brave Bird completely nuked away the opponent's Ninetales. That was amazing. Another Sableye lead here. Let's see what we can do here. We're going to be able to get the shield. I actually have also no idea like what kind of battles are in here, because yeah, like I actually had a lot of battles from this team. I did like 4 sets. Don't ask me how it went. Like honestly, it was like 3 days ago or something. No idea how it went 3 days ago. But we will be able to go ahead and go for some Sky Attacks here at least against the opponent. I'm going to force some shields here, or knocking them straight out of here, as we're going to encounter a Lantern. And this is the amazing thing about Quagsire. Quagsire does not care. This Pokemon is just going to be able to go for the Stone Edge here. We don't care about you, Noctowl. We can just go ahead and go for another one and knock you straight out of here. Issue is, if my opponent going to no shield here, and I think they're going to do this, because now we're going to have to encounter this Lantern there, and sadly we are just barely into range where they can knock us out with Surf. It's literally the exact amount of health, basically what they're gonna hit us here with. We will be able to go ahead and go for the Hydro Cannon, I guess, but it's going to be a tough one. We're going to go for the Hydro Cannon now, and I think this was a CMP tie. We had to catch the Surf there, but I didn't know how much energy they had. And like this is game over, sadly. So yeah, Surf sadly going to knock me out here because we are Shadow. If we weren't Shadow, we would have been able to win this game. Sadly, I don't get to Brave Bird and Sky Attack here. I had to go for that, but yeah, there was nothing I could have done. I wouldn't even got to 2 Sky Attacks anyway, so there was sadly nothing I could have done in this game anymore at this point of time, but this is still going to be a good game. Next opponent, we're going to encounter Hypno here. Again, a Pokemon that I don't really understand that people use this thing here in general. I don't really think this Pokemon has any play in the current meta, sadly. Really sad for this Pokemon. Actually, I really loved it back in the day when it was really good, when there was actually don't know why it really was that good back in the day. I guess because of the coverage move. There was like back old meta basically was always Registeel, Azumarill, Altaria, and Sableye. So basically you had coverage for at least like mostly you run Thunder Punch and Ice Punch for Altaria and Azumarill. So you're kind of neutral against this. So a lot of people used it as a safe swap back in the day or as a lead. So yeah, Hypno, sadly, something that doesn't really has any potential at the current stage, but I wish it would come back. We will see a shield coming up from them as we can try to hit them with our Brave Bird here. And this Brave Bird is going to hit them straight into their face, as we're going to be able to let this move go through. And we can farm them down with our Swampert as we face an Umbreon here coming in. Umbreon against us, we're just gonna go ahead and go for some Hydro Cannon. This Hydro Cannon going to do hopefully a lot of damage here. Maybe get the shield. Let's take a look at this one. We're going to get the shield already, allowing us to even go for the Earthquake now. Earthquake should be a little bit more energy efficient, I guess, or like does general a little bit more damage. I just want to see how much damage we actually do here, but we still have to try to catch a move on our Quagsire. Or do we? We can still go for one Hydro Cannon here, and does this knock them out? This is going to be interesting. It does knock them out, allowing us to catch the move on our Quagsire from the Hypno. We'll be able to just go ahead, let this move go through, and farm them all the way down with our Swampert to knock them out and win this game. Next opponent, we're going to encounter the Galarian Stunfisk here. This game here actually was something that I played in the beginning. This was mostly the first battle that I tried. He actually very good catch by the opponent here on the Earthquake, but I didn't really feel this team. Like, for me, this team didn't really have too much potential, so you usually don't see the teams that fail, but this was one of the teams that failed, so I guess I can just showcase it as well. Most likely wasn't the best battle that I ever did either, but when you go on YouTube and whatever and you see me, oh, this team is so amazing, there are always a lot of teams in between, or like team ideas that just fail and that I don't upload because of that. Usually there's no team that I play for more than like 3 games or something, which then like usually after like 3 games I change my team if I feel like it doesn't work. So that's the stuff that you don't see in the background there, like the stuff where I just don't really have a team that really works well. Here, this was just the first idea, basically trying to do for a double flyer in the back there, but there was like so many issues with this team that I didn't really feel confident in using this one as we encounter now the Galarian Stunfisk. Yeah, this was not really the best battle I played either, but I didn't really feel that this team worked out, so I went ahead and changed up completely into the opposite, basically going for double water and ground, as I really wanted to try out the what's called the Quagsire as well, so I kind of want to keep the Quagsire alive, but I feel like Quagsire alone as the only water ground type kind of didn't really have the impact that it really needed to do. But as a Say-Swap, I feel like Quagsire is really good in the current meta. But yeah, that's something that you usually don't really see on YouTube, where you see the team ideas that fail, but this was actually the first battle that I basically played with this team here, and it kind of still got into the lineup, I guess, so yeah, that's fine. But yeah, next up we're going to go back to the team that actually worked out well, where we're going to have the Swellow in the lead, and we're going to have our 2 ground boys, mud boys there in the back, slapping away on this lantern here, as he's going to be able to take those surfs pretty easily as this Earthquake is coming through, and we will be able to go ahead and just going to knock them out. Good game there, goodbye there. Next opponent, next Pokemon here coming in, again the Trevenant. Trevenant don't like this Stone Edge. Stone Edge going to do a lot of damage here, as you can see as well, and you see how good Quagsire is again. This Pokemon is just having a great time in the current meta. It's just chunking away at everything, as we're going to be able to completely hardwall my opponent. There's nothing they can do here anymore. Their only play is to go straight Earthquake or something, and me hoping that I don't shield, but I'm just going to shield everything they want to throw at me. I don't really care. It's going to be the Rock side. Who cares about that one? They're going to shield up. They're going to, like, yeah, go ahead and surrender there anyway, and it's going to be a good game. Is Zoomerl? I don't really like a Zoomerl. I should have maybe went for the Brave Bird here instead, but I'm gonna go for the Sky Attack. I'm gonna put them still into range where I can go ahead and go into my Quagsire, and I can bait out the opponent's Altaria. Look at that, that's amazing for us, because I don't really want to face this Pokemon with our Swampert. And this will allow us to go for another Stone Edge. We will be able to win this matchup in the 0 shields. I think any other shield scenario going to be a tough one to win. Maybe if you have better IVs than I do on the Quagsire, you might be fine. But Quagsire actually a cool Pokemon, maybe even meta breaker for tournaments, I don't know. I'm mostly, by the way, if you didn't know this, I'm going to be on tournaments, in 2 tournaments basically this season still, which are going to be the in Utrecht in 1 week. For me right now, maybe it was actually past you already. I might, like I pre-produced for the other tournament that's coming up as well, which is going to be the EOIC. Sadly, I missed both of the next community days because of this, so I cannot really showcase those battles. Which is really sad for me, because especially in the next community day we have 4 different new moves, like Pokemon with new moves, which would be cool to showcase, but sadly not there. Can't do this. I'm literally traveling and my laptop is just not able to really do YouTube content that consistently. It takes like 2 hours to render and whatever. This is not really the way. So yeah, I'm kind of stuck with my decision there, but this is most likely going to be my final tournaments for a long time. I don't really see myself competing in this anymore. Those Show 6 tournaments are really, really cool for people that run, like, do Silph or whatever. I just don't have the time to prepare. And also, it just costs me money, of course, to travel there. And then, like, I can't even do the content that I want to do on my YouTube channel because I miss the events that Niantic, of course, puts at exactly those dates, not the dates where there's no tournament, where, like, there are several dates with no tournaments. So while we catch the Earthquake there, I'm going to stop my rant, of course, because it's just, I don't know, I don't really understand Niantic's logic with that. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video. Very fun one to run Swellow here in the Open Great League. Not the best Pokemon, but still a fun one to use, and this team worked out pretty well. Most likely way better with Noctowl though. So, hope you enjoyed this video. See you on the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Bye!